Thursday the 18th. Now those little clouds should be rated because it's snowing out there now. But sun showing sunshine. It ain't sunny. That's for sure. I think Rick has got the snowblower going already. I don't know if you can tell, but it is still snowing. And I cleared off the deck for the dogs 3 minutes ago, and it's still snowing. I think we got about 4 inches. I don't know if you can see Maisie out there. She looks like a... Oh, she's behind a tree to the camera part of the phone. She's just sitting out there getting snowed on. Oh, now I can see it snowing. It is snowing, but I am all cozy in my new sweater. I finished it yesterday, and I washed it, and I blocked it. So I'm really, really happy with it. So there you go. Not too much. I finished my sweater. When I blocked it yesterday and put it under the ceiling fan. I finished it in the morning. It felt like it was getting all stretched out. So the sleeves are long. So I think it's just doing the normal superwash stretching. And I said something to Simone last night on the knit night, and she's, throw it in the dryer for 10 minutes. It'll be perfect. She's so funny, but I hadn't thought about that. Because it is superwash after all. I should be able to throw it in the dryer, and she's right. If I do that, it should... Oh, I should change chairs, and I have a different colored chair. It would look better. Show off my sweater more. Anyway, I finished it, and it is cozy warm on a snowy day. So we have snow. It's supposed to snow all day. Rick is out there already with the snow blower, but you saw I had cleared that deck literally 5 minutes earlier, and it was already covered again. So I'm gonna go out periodically with the broom, because it's very light, fluffy snow, and sweep, because I don't want it to be slippery for Pearl, because she's doing really well with her legs. And so we don't want her. She jumped off the deck yesterday when it was dinner time. She just... Of course, the snow is up to the bottom step. Hey, you. Get out of there. Maisie. She's casing the kitchen. There's nothing in there for you. No. So she turned around and went back outside. Goofball. Anyway, I finished my sweater. So that's the big news. And then I used up the paint. My paint that I had out, I made more cards. I made more leaf note cards. I liked it. I think they're cute. I had fun making them. I'm like, it's silly to feel bad making the same thing. I sent some of them, so it's not like, there she is. It's not like they're gonna go to waste. Hold on, let me wipe you. Let me wipe you. Now you're tilted. Jeez. Okay, so I've only been talking for 5 minutes. Without pushing the button. But the girls are back inside. I wiped them, they went out, they came back. Maisie's almost impossible to wipe because the snow is very wet coming down now. It's like mixed. It wasn't before because what I shoveled was very fluffy, but when I was out there I could feel like a mix, which is gonna make that porch, that deck part slippery if I don't keep up with it. So I'm gonna have to go sweep it periodically or else it will get slippery. Could put a little salt, but we don't like to do that. But it's supposed to snow all day according to Dennis. And it's already 4 or 5 inches, I think. What did I say before? I'm just guessing. Anyway, so I finished my sweater in the morning, right before walk. I put it to soak. It soaked while we were walking, and then I put it to block underneath the ceiling fan in the guest room, and it's dry. And lovely, and I'm really happy with it. I will take Simona's advice, perhaps if it stretches too much, and just give it a quick try to lose, you know, pull it back up again a little bit, but I am really, really happy with it. I love the turtleneck. So I did some painting. I can't remember when I told you, but I did some more leaves. Oh, that was before I wiped Maisie. I did some more leaves, and I'm just considering them note cards, because I send notes sometimes. And I used up all my paint that I had put out for my 8 colors that I had tried, and I had an order in to an art shop or art store, and I got some fancy schmancy watercolor brushes. These are the watercolor brushes that are used on my TV shows. And I got a couple of very fancy paints that people try, so I'm going to try those paints too, but I only got a couple colors, so I have a lot of great colors now. So I will be working on my painting today. I'm going to, after I wash off the remnants of this paint on the board, I'm going to lay my colors out and do my colors for my library, because I have to do that, because I'm behind in my library, because I'm thinking about podcasting. I think I'll do that tomorrow. It would be nice to show my library. Well, I'll show it, but it would be nice to be a little more caught up, but we shall see. But I was stitching on my dragon for a little while. I just did a little bit, and I was watching a show with Dennis, and I couldn't concentrate on the stitching, so I stopped stitching. And apparently didn't want to pick up my green sweater, my Silberling, apparently. Didn't want to pick that up. And I got some happy mail yesterday. From Treehouse Knits. That gorgeous Surrey alpaca that Valerie sent me was from Treehouse Knits in this colorway, which is Vineyard. And I fell in love with it. And so I bought myself a sweater, and it came yesterday. So I decided to knit a sweater, so I cast it on, even though I had in my mind I was going to do the Scream next, but that yarn hasn't arrived yet. It's coming from Norway, and the way I have earrings that were mailed from Germany on December 4th that I have not received yet. So, although I've gotten other things. I got some paintbrushes from Ireland that only took a week, so I don't even know. But anyway, this is the Bistro by Fogbound Knits, and I decided to do this. It's a very simple raglan sweater, but it's got a nice mock turtleneck. And for some reason, they've been making worsted weight sweaters with 3/4 sleeves. So it has 3/4 sleeves. The last one that had 3/4 sleeves, I made long sleeve. Well, I think it was my backbone That was 3/4 sleeves. I made a long sleeve. So I'll probably make this long sleeve. I think I have enough yarn to make it long sleeved. So anyway, I started this in the vineyard, and it's knitting up so beautifully. It's darker, you know, in the house than it looks on the camera, but it's really beautiful with that olive green. Really gorgeous. So anyway, I got to the point where I'm working in the round, and the front has about seven rows. And then I realized, wait a minute, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the alpaca, because I want to zhuzh this up. It's a pretty plain sweater, and so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some striping that includes the alpaca. Now I'm not going to do any stripes that are only alpaca. It'll be alpaca held with the worsted. And then I'm going to hold the alpaca for the collar and some version of stripes. I don't think I have enough alpaca to do stripes down the whole thing, so I think it'll just be a top part of this, you know, maybe even just to where it splits with the splits for the sleeves and make it almost like a yoke. But I'm not sure, and so I stopped knitting on it because I didn't want to get too far before I figured out what I'm doing to zhuzh it up with that alpaca. I may do a little swatch with the alpaca and see what I like, what looks good, and zhuzh up that pattern with some alpaca. And definitely in the collar. I mean, she sent it to me because I was wondering how the alpaca was compared to the mohair. Well, I'll hold it double with the yarn and put it around my neck on that sweater and see, because it should be really lovely to look at, and I'm sure it'll be warm and cozy. Which is why 3/4 sleeves are very odd to me. I do like a long sleeve. I have very short arms, and so my whole life, everything I bought, the sleeves were really long. So I've gotten used to having extra length in my sleeves. So when I made my first wool sweater, I'm like, oh, I can make these sleeves exactly how long I want. And I made them too short. For me. For my liking. And they were too short for years, and I didn't wear it a lot because it felt like the sleeves were too short. So I lengthened the sleeves, and now I wear it all the time. That purple one. Purple V-neck one. But it's a V-neck. It's a heavy sweater, but it's a V-neck, so I have to wear a cowl or shawl with it every time. Hello. She's just going to be coming in and out. We're just going to be wet today. We'll be wet. Dennis says this is supposed to go. Yeah, no. Get off my new sweater, you goofball. No. No. She keeps putting her foot up. It's covered in snow. Don't you be putting your foot on my new sweater. Every time I move this, then it goes crooked, and I don't know why, because I have to lock it. Because it turns, I guess. So I have decisions to make before I continue with that sweater, but since that's what my knitting will be today, I will have to think about it. But I have some other crafty things to do. Try some more of my new paints, new colors, and then get my bookshelf organized. My colors. Because all those silks left the building. Silks have left the building, just like Elvis. And so that's what I'll be doing today. We will not be walking. I don't know what we're gonna do about the snow. I mean, if it's not gonna stop till tomorrow morning, then on some level, it is light and fluffy. So we certainly will not be rushing out there to do anything, that's for sure. Except for to keep the back porch clear. So it'll just be a cozy day in the house in my new sweater. Unless my dog keeps putting her paw on me, and then I'll change. Because, you know, it's a long sweater, so it's sitting on my lap a little bit, and then she's going to be rubbing up on me and getting it all wet and everything. Not that it wouldn't be perfectly fine. I'm sure it would, but this, I had pictured this collar. I don't know if you can see that. This is where I picked up the stitches. I had pictured this collar staying lower. I wanted you increase on this collar so that the edge is bigger. And for some reason, I'm not sure why, for the first half of the inside part, I went down a needle size, which doesn't hurt it and makes it close around my neck. But I don't know if it's the stretching or just, you know, but the reality is you can't hardly see it. And nobody would know that that's what I expected. And say, oh, that's weird, that collar doesn't go all the way down to the pickup line. So anyway, and I'm so happy with the yarn, with the color. I just am tickled with my new sweater, I must say. So thank you, Andrea, the cat lady, for the beautiful yarn you made. And now I'm snuggly cozy, and I have 2 new sweaters with snuggly cozy collars. And this one, you notice I'm going for a theme here. Maybe I like red sweaters. Maybe if this had been in blue, I might not have been so attracted to it. I wonder. It's not going to be red. It's going to be vineyard, but it's got a nice warm neckline. Not that I want to put my shawls out of business or anything. It just, you know, I do want to be cozy, and I am cozy in this sweater, so I'm so happy with it. So here you go. Not too much. Hinterm Stein. And I'm going to go off and ball up that Surrey alpaca. I just sat there while we were watching TV and did it by hand. I did 2 balls of it. That's, you know, I was just looking for something to do with my hands. I even sat there and said to myself, too bad I don't have a sock on the go in an easy place for me to just pick up and, you know, I wanted a boxy. I wanted to just sit there and do a stockinette. I mean, really. But I started a sweater. Well, I mean, I could think enough to, like, you know, do increases. Or well. So I'm going to go get my alpaca organized and swatch some stripes and see what I think and make a decision, because I don't really want to work. I don't want to do anything further until I'm sure of what my plan is. All right, puppy? I want a plan. Don't you put your paw on me. You're all wet. No! Excuse me. I'm going to be sad if I can't wear my new sweater today because of my dog. But that's where we are right now. That's where we are. Because it is so cozy. Anyway. I just came back to say goodbye. Take good care of yourselves if you're in this storm and if you're still cold. And I hope the electric power's on and you weather. Really, really something. So, but this is light and fluffy, which unless somebody takes out a power line and gets in an accident, we should be okay in terms of keeping our power. Well, let's hope so. But we're prepared if we need to fire up the generator. Anyway, please take good care of yourselves. Stay warm. Be careful. Wear your mask. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe and stay safe.